Hi, it's Graham here. I've been lucky enough to get myself out for another wild camp, and I'm heading to a place called Cheviot Crags. Now, I've never been there before, I've never recce'd it, I'm not really sure of the path there, so it's a mild bit of a risk, but it came about because I did a hike to Three Kingstone Circle, and the trees around have been cut down now. And you can see for miles from there, and looking out over the valley bottom, which is the A68 road to Scotland, on the other side of the A68, you can see these really interesting looking crags. So I got the map out and had a look, and they're called Cheviot Crags, which ever since I saw the name, I can't get Martha and the Muffins out my head. So it rises of that. But then I bought a book on Northumbrian geology, coffee table sort of book, but really interesting, and it featured Cheviot Crags in it. So the stars are aligning, things are coming together, so I'm off now to try and find Cheviot Crags. Here we are. I'll give you a look around the valley because it's pretty stunning. So I think that's Three Kings on top of that bare bit of the hill. The first time I camped at Three Kings, it was the trees hadn't been cut down yet, and the whole thing, we've got 3 standing stones and 1 fallen, and there's a real old spooky tree there, and it was in a forest clearing, and it had a very almost Blair Witch like atmosphere, like a great atmosphere. It was good, but now the trees have been cut down. When I hiked back up, the field's totally different. The sunlight is there, you can see for miles, and it feels like the stone circle has once again been opened up to the light, and whatever eeriness that was there is just, it's dissipated with the sun, and it's got a nice feel about the place now. But that's not where we're going. Cheviot Crags today. So I'm out with Sean C and another lad from work, Jack, and it's a big old haul up this forest road, really steep, and I'm overheating a little bit with this prism on, and get my breath. They're a bit ahead, but I'm using the excuse that I've had to stop to do bits and pieces of filming, not the excuse that they're both young and fit and I'm not. There's a break in the trees here where the forest road is, and I think we're going to use this to break out of the forest off the road and get onto the fells proper where we want to be. Now I've got to go back over and get the camera. There's a couple of very cool looking cairns up here. They just look really old. They're covered in mosses and lichen, and I think that means there's really no air pollution up here, because lichen doesn't like air pollution. But they just look ancient, really cool. They've got no special name on the map, it's just called cairns. But what a great place up here. plenty of daylight left. It's only about 6 o'clock and it's not going to get dark till probably after 10, and we've seen a summit near here called Catclough Hill, so we're just going to aim for the summit, see what the view's like, see if there's a trig point, and then double back onto Cheviot Crags. So upwards. This is Hungry Low trig point, and I'm not sure if we're going to back Catclough Hill now, because actually this seems to be higher and the views from here are tremendous. There's brilliant views across the Cheviot and across to Scotland. Disappointed to report that nothing spooky happened in Scary Clough. That Scary Clough there from the other side now, and we're just about to drop into Cheviot Crags, and from the views I've seen from Hungry Low it looks really interesting, so I'm looking forward to getting in there and exploring. It's only a couple of minutes walk away now. The rocks here are absolutely pockmarked with these circular depressions. They're just all over the place, and I presume that's post-glacial erosion just from wind and rain. Turns out Jack is a rock climber.
I think I've only put this up 3 times. I forget every time.
Barnsley chop. It's a double loin lamb chop. A little bit of oil on both sides. Season it with salt crystals, season it with salt crystals and a spicy rub, and give it about 4 or 5 minutes each side. While that's cooking, I'm going to put my asparagus in foil. With a huge lump of butter, and a squeeze of lemon. And while the chop is cooked and resting, that's going to go in the pan. Right, I'm just going to let that chop rest on the plate while I put the asparagus on. I reckon that asparagus is done now. The last thing we've got is some lovely homemade mint sauce made by my wife this morning. So I've been trying to get away from MREs, and this is my attempt to get away from them. So Barnsley steak with homemade mint sauce, herby potatoes and mayonnaise, and asparagus steamed in melted butter and lemon juice. It's not too bad. It's got a bit chilly outside. It's nearly 10 o'clock, so we've just come in the tents for the night to warm up and that. The good news is I've got a Northumberland IPA from Northumberland's oldest brewery, Hexhamshire. The Hexhamshire brewery, to wash that chop down. And it's good. The not so good news is that while I was eating me chop, my air mat deflated. I've pumped it up again, and I hope it's just an issue with me not closing the valve or something, but if it deflates again I'll be asking for recommendations in the morning. It feels okay at the minute, so fingers crossed. Morning guys. Slept well last night, but it is an absolutely beautiful place to camp. Really good place. Cloudy this morning, but it's dry, wind's not too bad. Got my usual breakfast, a sip of water, and I'll get the tent down now. get cracking, get back to the car. It's amazing to me that these crags were formed of sediment from like a broad river delta 300 million years ago in the Carboniferous era. Even before the age of dinosaurs, the age of amphibians and giant dragonflies. I think they've eroded away and this is what they are now. And when you think about deep time like that and how these formed, it just blows my mind. And it's such a great place to camp, such a privilege to camp here. Thanks for coming along for the trip last night. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And as always, I appreciate everybody that watches and subscribes. If you fancy subscribing, then just hit that little blue box with the yellow tent in the corner. It's much appreciated. Well, that's gone back to the car.